G'day everyone, welcome to another live demo. It's like the camera seems to be, I must have it in the wrong setting or something, I don't get it. Seems to be okay. I'll just bring it a bit closer. Okay, so g'day if you're here, welcome. We're going to sew a little bit more of this fella. This is really close up, but you can see there where we're up to, what we're doing. G'day Rado. I'm just popping my trusty gloves on, which I do adore, as we all know. Please feel free to chat while we're going live. I don't mind. I can answer any questions while I'm sewing. We've been doing a bit of thread work with this one, and I've really enjoyed it actually. I'm just trying to get that a little bit closer without having the camera fall on me. There we go. Just took my sweaty gloves off. Yeah, well, it's cooler here today, so I don't have to have the aircon on. And I'm not feeling it so much yet, but that's, you know, that could very well change. So, all right, there we go. Okay, so I've got in like a mid colour. It's an Egyptian cotton. It's called, I think it's confetti. Yep, confetti. It's a 50 weight, pretty sure. I don't think I've changed my needle for a while, which is really bad. But anyway, we'll keep going. I've got my feed dogs down and I've got my free motion foot on. First thing I'm going to do is just make sure it's not too low. And I'll start off the side, put my needle down and needle up just to get rid of that thread a bit. We had cold and wet, no, now humid and yeah, oh, I hate that. I hate that. That's icky, icky. I hate humidity. When we went to WA for the 12 months with the kids, it was just horrible. I hated it, like the weather. I don't mind WA, but I just couldn't stand that yucky humidity up north. We're up north. All right. So the needle size is a size 90. And it will sound chunky, okay, because it's going through a lot of stuff. And I'm just feeding backwards and forwards to get a bit of detail, a bit of, you know, description, I suppose, a bit of detail in the hair, the mane. And with this, if I need to travel, I will just travel down the side. So don't feel that you have to cut off all the time. That's an unnecessary thing when you're doing these. You wouldn't just do a massive big straight line from one point to the next unless you can cover it up. But yeah, you try not to cut off and restart again. We do enough of that with colouring, with colours. So I suppose this is free motion embroidery, I suppose. I don't know. I sort of call it thread work. But if you've got any questions about anything that I'm doing, please feel free to ask why I'm doing it. And don't forget to share this so that other people can drop in and drop out whenever they feel like it and see the process. I think I've got the camera in a good position today so that you can really see the process of the stitching. And the beauty of this is that you don't have to be perfect with your stitches, because you're going back and forth so many times. If I would call it thread enhancement. There you go. Just me, that makes me sound very technical. Hides the multitude of sins. It sure does, Gidget. My oath, she does. So the more with this, the more alteration of like colour will create more texture. And I don't know whether you're noticing, but anyway, I'm going backwards and forwards over the same area, just creating thicker areas. So you've got different shades of shadowing and contours. And you can go at your own pace. I mean, you don't have to go a million miles an hour, because I'm not really going very fast. What I do tend to do is, when I do this sort of work, is I tend to use one colour, and I'll do as much of that one colour as I can before I change to the next. But I do come back to some of the colours. I just try not to make more work for myself. So over the Christmas break, pretty much, I think it's next Wednesday, shop will shut and everything else. I mean, I'll still be around, but as of next Wednesday, closed for a good 2 weeks at least, which I think will give me a nice big break. So if there's anything you need beforehand, let me know. We are going away at some point, which I'm looking forward to, because I just want to sit by the river and do nothing but draw and create and, you know, really just find my arty-farty self again, which has sort of been lost in a lot of MYOB and a lot of paperwork at the moment. So, and the one trick with this process is to always go in the direction of the hair or fur. So you will sometimes see, some people don't, they might not realise that they've done it, or they've not, you know, they've just sort of started and they don't really understand what they're doing. It's all learning, of course. And if you have the thread going in the wrong direction, it will sort of take away that reality, the realism of it, you know. So it's definitely a good idea to keep the fur or the threads in the direction of the fur and hair, skin tone, anything like that. So I presume most of you saw that I had the dogs, because my daughter decided that she wanted to leave the gate open because she dropped my son off at work, which was lovely. And then, and well, we had to go pick him up again in about, you know, an hour and a half or so. So she decided to leave the gate open. And when I got up to go and get Jaden, I said, the gate's open. And she said, yeah. And I said, why is the gate open? And she said, well, you're going out again. And I said, yeah, but what about the dogs? And she said, well, yeah, they won't go anywhere, will they? And I looked outside and I went, well, they're not here. And she said, will they come back? I said, I don't know. And so anyway, I went up and I sort of thought, well, there's not much I can do now. I went and got Jaden, put it up on Facebook for the locals and see if anyone's seen him. And yeah, no one had seen him, but a couple of hours later, Milo came home. Still no sign of Serena. And then I see on Facebook that someone had a ram walking down one of the streets in, luckily it wasn't the main highway because he would have got killed, of Durrell, which is just a country town, but, you know, still people drive their streets. And I've gone, oh, because the road, it was on the swamp road, and I'd taken Sammy to a lady up there because she had some grass to eat, and like, it's too hard to mow because it's just really thick, and her mower's not that great. So I said, oh, maybe Sammy might be okay up there. I said, we'll give it a go and see what happens. Oh, lo and behold, the day she had to go out for a funeral for love, and anyway, lo and behold, Sammy went, no, I'm going to jump the fence. And he just jumped the fence. So there's a ram walking with Sammy, and bugging me dead, but the bloody ranger happened to be across the road, and he's looked over and there's Sammy, and Sammy's just walked straight over to him and gone over for a cuddle. so yeah. So then I had to go and get Sammy this morning from Linton, and I just put him back in with the girls. And when I got up this morning, Serena was home. So it all came to a good end. But I said to Becky, you can't, you know, just can't. She's just an opportunist. You can't let her do that. But anyway, lesson learned. She's naughty. I find that this sends me a little bit to sleep. So it's that embroidery thing. I think I hear the embroidery machine too, and I get that real dopey Dora thing, and I get that real, I need to go, you know, have a bit of a nana nap. Yeah. It's always something happening in my life that's just either weird, funky, or I don't know. I must attract it. I think I've killed a Chinaman in my past life. I must have. Or I kicked him in the bloody shins, that's for sure. So, been cursed. Right, so I'll just cut that off just to show where I'm at. Sorry about the camera doing the weird thing. So I've gone through here, done all that there. I've gone through all this here. I know it looks messy. That's the idea of it. I am going to just do this area here, and I'm just going to keep following that path. Okay. And I just explained the reasoning for that colour. That's like a little bit of sunlight on his back there. You just sort of see when I show the picture a bit later, a bit of sunlight coming through. Okay, any questions at the moment? How's the video going? Is it clear enough for you to see? So I'm going one way here across, and then I'm cutting across it just like that, just like a really scruffy noughts and crosses sort of thing, a crossy hatch type effect, just to break up the monotony a bit. And that way I can also change direction. So has anyone started one of these themselves? Started doing a bit of thread work from just the inspiration, or the ideas that you've been getting from the videos, or interesting to know if you're getting closer and closer to doing one. A little bit loose in the stitch. Attention. I read your mind. Okay. in regards to having a go at it, a bit of inspiration? I hope so. I'd like to think that I'm inspiring you to just step out of your, your comforts a little bit more and sort of try something different. Yeah, I'm hearing you, Rado. Because I already started, this is one of my to be finished, and I want to also finish some things over the next week or so that I can move on for the new year and start some, new interesting projects. Sorry about that. That was me. I moved my arm. Gosh, it looks so different now from the beginning. Awesome. I plan on doing something in the new year. Oh, fantastic. Oh, look, it will grow and grow. And, sometimes they never look right until you're completely finished. I always say to someone, if I say to someone, oh, what do you think so far? And I'm like, oh, it needs this and this and this. Yeah, I know it hasn't been finished, but what do you think of what I've done so far? Oh, okay, yeah, no worries. So until it's finished, I don't take sort of much notice of any real criticism unless it's constructive. Oh, you might need to put a little bit extra light in here, or you might need to, you haven't done the eye. Do you know what I mean? Like that sort of thing. I'd go, oh yeah, well, I haven't got there yet. I haven't finished. No, that's still yet to come. So, and I advise you to do the same. And just take it with a grain of salt when you hear other people sort of go, oh, that doesn't quite look like this, or doesn't quite look like that, and you sort of go, yeah, whatever, so I'm just going to put some of this, it's sort of a mid colour, just down here in the face, just to create that sort of bit of shadow in there, and it's going to be in a little bit of a scratchy sort of look. I don't want to make it too neat. Got a hairy one. I have my Carly Porter project final piece, Helen God and Midnight Magic, to assemble, and my elephant. So they will bring me into Jan. Yeah, absolutely. They're big projects. I love that though. I love that you've got the nice big projects. I've got 30,000 little ones. Just feels like I'm constantly doing little things, lots of them. Okay, so I just need to, I'm just looking at the photo compared to what I've got here. I need to put that mid colour on there. Just give me 2 secs. The dog's just jumped at the door. No. Okay. So I'm just going to do this. It's just a little bit bland looking. I've also, I've got fine hairs to do and all that sort of stuff. It comes with time. I was proud of myself. Well, the power came on a bit earlier than I was expecting, and I got to actually finish a quilt, which was yay for a customer. That was really good. I'm very happy with that. It's a custom quilted one, so I'll now be able to finish off edges. Yay. And then Got another lady who I told she's got 6 months to wait. So I really, I think about 3 months of that is already gone. So I need to get busy. I do have the dogs at my feet. Go away. Shut the gate, mate. I did do many classes this year. I love them, but it was a lot to do. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've said it to the kids a couple of times. You know, you just can't leave it open. It's as simple as that. You just can't leave it open. You can't trust them that they won't decide to bugger off. All right, so I'm just going to put a little bit of lighter one in here. Scratch that in a little. I think too, you know, because it's raining, they go, oh, I don't want to, you know, get them going. Can't do it. Always feels good when something's fun. Oh, me, yeah, absolutely. It's the best feeling ever. You'll be able to hear the dogs now because they're going to start. Because I've got Chewy in here as well. So she loves to play and she'll grab onto Candy's ears and the pair of them, you know, play fight. It's funny as. Chewy, stop. Even though there's not much in the photo of detail in there, I think I need to. It just looks a little bit, I don't know, a bit dark. So I'm going to just put some, see if that little thread's going to give me the earrings, isn't it? I don't know if you can hear the dogs or not, but they're underneath underneath the table. The camera setup blocks most noise out, even if your machine is barely. Oh, your machine. Oh, okay, that's good. That's really, as long as you can hear me, that's the main thing. All right. So basically what I'm doing is I'm grabbing some areas that I think are too dark, just need a little bit of highlighting, and it should help with the detail of the horse without being an overkill. Okay, so if I turn my head, it goes away. Yep, I'll keep that in mind. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that so far. I have to keep touching the camera to make it refocus. Really, very annoying, just saying. All right, so I'm going to change to this colour. It is colour number 906, and it's also confetti. So I'm just going to change to this. It's not a white, it's not a cream. It's sort of like a, no, it's not even a, it's like a dirty grey, beigey colour. It's a funny colour. But it'll do the trick. Yeah. So if I can, thread's got a curl in it. How annoying. got it. I think. Yep. Righty. Okay, so I've pretty much been using, it's not my stark white, but I've been using this as my highlight colour. So I'm going to put it all in the main and keep building up on that. And then I might put some elsewhere too. So I will start with the main. And you can see, like, if I have like a tail of thread that won't, you know, do what it's meant to do, I'll stitch it into it because I'm lazy. So with this one, I'm just going backwards and forwards. Come on, camera, be nice to me. I couldn't get my auto threaded to work and I was getting cranky with it and realised my foot was done that before. So for some reason or other, my camera is doing this weird auto focusing thing, and it shouldn't be because I think I have turned off auto. But anyway, so before I go live again, I'm going to have to fix that. Okay, so very annoying. So I do a workshop occasionally, once, maybe twice a year, where I teach people how to do this, but on top of a photo, and it might be the size of 6 by 10, like, you know, fairly small, maybe a little bit bigger than that. And that's a really good class. So that's a really good way to learn and just learn some different techniques and different ways of getting things to work for you. So sitting here, I just heard this little whiny noise. What the heck is that? And it's actually Tui whining because she wants to go outside. Toots, what are you doing? Just go and sit in the bed. Nope. Nope. She's a bit cute. She is such a sook. So, you know, don't be frightened to use your lighter colours and get them working. You can always come back in with some darker ones if you overdo it. You know, it's never a disaster. You can always fix it. Sometimes it can get a little bit hard to fix it because it's very thready. But it's always fixed. Nothing's ever gone by the wayside stuffed, you know what I mean? Like it's always fixable. That's my technical term anyway, not that it's stuffed. So I'm creating wispy bits. He keeps what? Growling. Oh, that's funny. So I'm doing all these wispy bits at the end of the mane, just bringing it past that white bit, or, you know, lighter bit there, just to create the hair And hair goes in different directions, so remember that. So never completely, especially a horse's mane. Just to let you know too, I'm using my ends of my fingers, which is sort of going to make it ache a bit, my hands, because I'm right on the edge of the fabric, so sometimes we can't use our gloves. So just be careful if you're going to do that, that you don't do it for too long a period of time and you end up, you know, with an RSI. Just do small, short stints and tire out your tendons and muscles and stuff. Cut that off. Go over to the top of the mane, like the little bit of fringe up here. I'm actually really liking this, what I've just done, so I don't really want to touch it, but I'm just going to go up here and just wispy that out a little. Oh, you just learned? Did you learn that? Did you just learn how to use it on the iPad and the phone? Awesome. So I had to put the ram in the car to get him home. So I actually grabbed a Holty from the Shetland, like the minis, and sort of threw it over his head a bit. He wasn't really impressed. And because as friendly as he is, he still doesn't want to walk on a lead. You know, he's still a sheep, and he's still a ram. Like he'll still give you a headbutt if he doesn't want to do what you're doing. And anyway, excuse me. And anyway, And then I've put the lead on that, and we're just sort of trying to drag him along a little. And got him to the car, and then had to lift his legs up and encourage him in, and he got in no dramas. Like, you know, he sort of said, yeah, all right. So, and then I had to tie him up so that he wouldn't go jumping into the front seat while I'm driving, because they would do that as well. Gee, that thread work makes a difference. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And just those little touches here and there make a huge difference. So don't be frightened to have a go at it. You know, like, sort of, you know, I always will step back from something, have a look, or take a photo of it. If I take a photo of it, it sort of shows me what it's going to look like from someone else's point of view. I can see more of it in a photo, and I can see what needs to be adjusted or what doesn't need to be adjusted. You know what I mean? Always good to learn new things, no matter how big or small. So now we're just looking at here, and that needs to come down there. So I'm sort of looking where I am, what I'm doing. Just checking back on the photo each time too, just make sure that I'm, you know, on the right path. Yeah, well, I learned the other day you've been doing most of your sewing all your life on a treadle. I couldn't believe it, my love. And I've seen your work, it's just amazing. The clothes that you make is just beautiful. Very breathtaking. The eye was perfect. I do need to. There's a lot more to go into that eye. It's got still got more to go, and I'm okay with that. I've got the basis, like the foundation of it there. I just need to put in some detail and stuff. We'll get there. And highlighting the highlights. Yeah, well, Gidget, it's got a little bit more to go, so I wouldn't say at the moment it is. For me, I'd like to do a little bit more work to it. That fussy thing will come out in me. This is probably only thing that I would go and get OCD over, because I'd be like, no, it needs to change here, here, and here. Put that in there. Hey, Stella. Because I've got the dark to go in yet, as well as some of this lighter stuff. So I'm just trying to. Eh, eh. Yeah, you do. You sort of get that little bit anally retentive sometimes. You got this thing in your head, and you want it to be a certain way, and you know, you'll keep sort of working on it until it does, and then once you've got it right, you'll be happy and you'll let it live. But until then, you sort of go, no, we're not playing that game today. So here, Tui carrying on again. Tui. Tui, come on, behave. I don't know, you can't hear it, but they're getting louder. Tui. I should have said the softness of the eye is perfect. Oh, okay. Yeah, look, it's not too bad. It's still got some place to go. It's still, you know, getting there. It's I still want it to look like a horse's eye, not a human eye, if that makes sense. So I am going to change colour now. And going to, I can see I need to get a little bit of dark in here and in there, but I'll get to that in a minute. Hi, Julie. Julianne. What colour is this one? This is the one. I heard thunder. We really don't need more rain. Yeah, I know. You've had a huge amount of rain where you guys are. It's been crazy days. The most important thing is to stay safe when it rains like it does. 200 mil of rain is huge. Come on, little darling. Work with me. I should have my little threader up there somewhere. Come on. There we go. Alrighty. So, just having a bit of a squeeze at what I've got here. All right. So the hardest part of this is getting the shape. Last year it was dry and on fire. It is. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this summer really kicking off because I've got a horrible feeling that we're going to have some nasty days. Sorry, that's me just trying to get the thread out of the way, making it a little fuzzy. So what I'm doing here is just trying to work on getting the shape and the depth of everything right. I might do all this and still never get it right, and that's okay. It is what it is. In the end, it's you just got to deal with it. But it is very thick here, so it's going to make a lot of noise. So at the moment, he looks dopey. Just saying. I'll have a quick squeeze at what I'm doing and see whether I've stuffed it completely. No, I just need to make that a little bit bigger. Sorry, I'm just having a quick look at it and see where I've done and whether I'm stupid and I've made a mistake. But I think so far so good. And I might just swap back to that light colour. I might put it as, that light colour would be good. The eye is always the hardest to get right. Yeah, and it is the absolute most important thing because you want to make it look real. But like I said on the other videos too, if I fall into that much trouble and I really can't get the thread to play nice, I will touch it up with paint if need be, and I will use like an acrylic based paint because I find the fabric, I don't want any, shimmery stuff in there. So what I'm going to do is come down there. Really slow now. I'm going to trim that little rubber off. Oh, that's good. Yeah, absolutely make or break a picture. Yeah. I've seen in past break them. They just don't look right. You can see there's something not quite right, and it could be the hair's going in the wrong direction or the eye's just not right. But yeah, you sort of notice when it's not right. It's weird. So that there, just cutting off. So what I want to do is, I know that there's this line, this white line around. Just trying to get the come back into that in a minute. So I'm just going to roll this foot a bit. I just don't want it to get caught. And I'm making really, oh, there's that. There's what caught on that. I'll just get it out of the way. Get over there. I'll turn it this way. Stitch that baby down. So it doesn't want to grab. It's because it's so thick. And I could have to cut this off. I'm just looking at it going, it just looks a bit weird. I might do that. Does it get harder to sew as you use more thread? Yeah, it does. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I've just got to cut that off because it's not quite what I wanted. Yeah, it does. It gets really quite thick, and sometimes, you know, with an open toe foot, you can get your threads caught as well. So just bear with me while I get these little darlings out. Not really the look I was after. Yeah, so just depending on what thread you're using too. Some thread is easy to use and some thread not. Also, it depends on the needle. If you've got a really thin needle, it'll just snap. My machine makes noises and scares me. I build my thread up. Yeah, that's pretty normal. That's because it's going through 30,000 layers of thread. That's fairly normal. I'd be worried if it wasn't making noises. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty normal. Come on. I need a little electric cutter, don't I? I've left it over the other side of the room. I'll just get these off because I want to try again. Come on. I reckon the colour's too light. That's why it doesn't look right. There we go. Almost there. Your machine always scares you. Yeah. You've got to find your love affair with your machine. All right, so let's go foot down and let's just go here. I'm just going to down. Stop it. Making noises at me. No beeping. Okay, it's getting better. Now what I need to find is the colour. So bear with me while I find a colour. I don't hate it anymore, so that is an improvement. That's good. That's really good. It's yeah, you've got to have that love affair with your machine. Okay, so I thought I had this in my bits, but I didn't. So I'm just grabbing it. It's this one here. I'll just zoom in. There we go. This is number 401. Just if you're looking for the colour. My biggest worry is that if I break my new machine, I can't afford to replace it. I sold my car to buy it. Oh my God. Do you recommend starting with a new needle? Julianne, yeah. Yeah, when you first start with a new needle. My biggest thing is that I'm lazy and I don't. And then I forget. And then I'm halfway through it and it's making all these horrible noises or it's shredding. And it'll be because I've left the needle, you know, be too long. Excuse me. So absolutely, if you can, start with a new needle, especially in a new project. So I'm just gonna, yeah, I think that's the colour I need. So I'm just going very slow. I just want to get that little bit of colour in there. Hang on. It's been unruly. Get out of there. Thank you. A bit long. Yeah, well, some people, you know, I mean, cars only bring you so much happiness, don't they? You know? I mean, we need them to get to A to B, but everyone's needs are a little bit different. So. You can hear it going snap, 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 snap as it's grabbing. So I've just lightened up some of the eye a bit. I am going to come back with another round, but I just needed to, it was just a little bit out there with the darkness. So we'll get a darker brown and come back into it, but for the time being, it just really needed to have a little bit of light in it, so it doesn't look like he's, you know, got no pupil. You can do lots of miles with a new machine. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So I'm just going to speed her up a little bit and just get some of this colour around. Yeah, because at the moment he's, I mean, it's fine, but it's very grey. Yeah, and it will, the more I sort of come backwards and forwards in it, I'm just going to get a really nice brown, so bear with me. Just with a little bit more red in it. I'm surprised you guys can see it, to be honest. All right. I didn't tell you the number of that, and now I've got it on there. I can't tell you because it's up there. Oh, be nice with Mummy. Get in there. Little booger. I think he can see us now. He was looking a little bit grey. Come on. Okay. Yeah, so very, very thready. And this is a very red sort of colour. All right, it's all right. I know I'm a bit weird. It's all good. Exactly why we love you. We love you more because of these things. We love you long time, Gidget. All right, so popping the chocolate brown back on. So I would say my biggest mistake with this one in the eye was actually putting all that grey in there. I really probably should have stepped back from that, but lesson learned. And sometimes it takes a couple of goes. I just use the tweezers like I did before. Got it. Get it. There we go. Oh, get rid of that. There we go. Oh, absolutely. We are all a little bit weird in our own way. You don't have to ask me or ask me about my day, and my days get really weird. All right, so now what I'm just doing is just putting that darker colour back in. And like I said, it is very thick, so I've got a real grip on it. Just to try and feed that brown back in, because I didn't really want his eye to be grey. That's better. Okay, gosh. Now I'm just going to come up here. That's my daughter home. So Tui's going to go off her head any minute now, because she's going to want to go outside to see, you know, the love of her life. Because her and Becky are like joined at the hip. That's why you don't see her in here, because she's always with Beck. Alrighty, so I'm not going to throw any more in there. I probably need to get a hammer to it, which I will, and just push that down because it's like a real big. And I'm just going to, with that chocolate brown, having a look where I am. What I need to do, I don't think I need really much more than that. And I will get do the eyelashes as well. But I'm contemplating colour, thinking maybe let's come back in with that. One last thing and then we're done for today. And what I might do is I'm going to have a bit of a look at it, have a look at my options, what I want to do, and I might do a bit of a demo on the painting side of it, what I'm going to do there, so you can see the whole thing. So just slowly write down, put down, and lift it up. Nope, I don't know. All right. What I'll do is just need to, I probably need to just keep get into that with some paint and get some more detail in it. I'll just zoom it out so you can see. I need to darken that up, which I'll do with the paint, and the eyelashes need to be adjusted, and just the front here, because it looks like at the moment his eyes on sideways, but it's the actual, so I'll get into that with the paint. But look at the mane. Look how good that mane looks. So, but I'll make that look a little bit less weird looking. It looks like it's on its angle. So what I'll do is we'll go and have some lunch and stuff, and we'll come back and we'll fix this up with some paint, and I'll show you how I do it, all right? So I'll share the link on Facebook, and we will see you guys probably in about an hour, all right? All right, see you soon, guys. Bye.